Summer makeup can be very, very daunting. So here are 10 summer makeup essentials that will help you get a beautiful, flawless, matte makeup look that doesn't have you looking casket ready. Okay, let's jump into it. The first summer essential is going to be a very good SPF, okay? You can choose from SPF 30 all the way out to SPF 60 if I'm not mistaken. Okay, this specific one is the Kiehl's Better Screen UV Serum. I use this a lot on this channel because it's the one that sits on my desk, but there are a few other brands that have them. You can absolutely check them out. I will list a few down below so you can see, especially the ones that disappear on dark skin. The thing I have been doing is making sure I apply whatever skincare I'm using on my neck as well, because you don't want your face to look young and pretty and your neck just does not meet the mark, if you know what I mean. I'm also putting some on my hands because I've been getting into skincare for my hands a lot. I'm trying to see if that's going to make a difference. My hands have been wrinkly my whole life, so it's nothing new to me, and it's not because of UV lights or anything. My hands have literally been like this my whole entire life, but I'm hoping that adding some actual skincare products to my hands will help. Okay. The second summer essential is going to have to be a good lip balm. You can choose from one of these three that I have tried. This is my tried and true, and these two are new to me. The Lancome Juicy Tubes, I like to use them as lip glosses because they hydrate my lips very well and they stay in place exactly where I put it, and they smell so good. And I just love the tube squeeze in. Now with the sunscreen and the lip gloss alone, I look like I'm ready to go, but I'm not done yet. I have a lot more to show you. You can also pick up the new e.l.f. Glow Reviver. They do have a little bit more pigment in it than these ones do, but they also look very good on bare skin. Or you can also pick up the Milani Keep It Full lip balms. These two have swatch videos somewhere on my channel. I will put the direct links down below so you can check them out and decide on which one you want. I really do believe that skin prep is the basis of any makeup routine, but I also feel like the right kind of primer will either make or break your makeup, especially in the summer. So I'm just gonna go to the queen herself, Miss Danessa Myricks, for this one, okay? So the third summer essential is going to be a very good primer. And because we're focusing specifically on a matte base today, we're using products that are going to give us a gorgeous matte base that's not going to crease or look powdery or look cakey on our skin, okay? We're going for Miss Danessa Myricks. She knows how to do a good priming base, okay? So I have two for you. You don't have to use both, but if you want that gorgeous, flawless looking base, you're definitely going to want to use both of these. First, we have the Yummy Skin Universal Balm. This one is the colorless one. According to Miss Danessa Myricks, if you want a matte base, you use the Universal Balm. And if you want a glowy base, there's another one for that. So our third essential is going to be Miss Danessa Myricks Universal Yummy Skin Balm, which is going to apply it all over the skin, very much like how you would apply a moisturizer or a primer. To reinforce it, I'm adding some of these Yummy Water Powder Serum to my skin. It says that you're not supposed to shake this. Miss Danessa Myricks explained that because of the formulation of this, when you shake it, you're actually destroying the formula and the product. So you're supposed to just turn around and tap the bottom of it. But I find that I don't have to tap it. Just a firm press will release a few drops of the product and you just apply it to your skin. So I'm going to apply this all over my face because I do want my whole entire base to get that beautiful matte protection that Miss Danessa Myricks offers. Okay, I'm making sure to apply all the products to my brows and also to my nose because those parts get really, really oily, and especially my nose because if I don't do that, the products will literally just slide right off and I don't want that, okay? Next is the foundation. Of course, there are some very matte foundations out there, but the foundation that I have been loving and I like the look of it a whole lot is the Maybelline 30 Hour Lumi Matte Foundation. It is a matte foundation, but also slightly on the luminous side, so then it gives you this gorgeous in-between shade. Another brand I have been using that I have actually used out in Dubai and it's hot is the Urban Decay Phase Bond Foundation. This is also a very good one for hot weather. But today we're going in with Maybelline. Let's go in with 2 pumps just so you can see what it looks like on the skin. And this is the shade 400. If you're my shade twin, shade 400 is for us, okay? Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and blend it in. Next is setting powder, but not this setting powder. This is the Givenchy Prism Leave setting powder. I used it to set all the parts of my face that I put my concealer, but this is not the kind of setting powder I am talking about as our summer essential. The summer essential we're gonna need is the Nye Colorless Powder, not the neutral set, the colorless powder. This powder is going to help me set my whole entire base. The Nye Colorless Powder will help me set my entire base without introducing any extra color to my skin. Now, if you're dark skin like me, you know that the wrong setting powder will literally break your makeup, right? So because of that, I generally don't set my face, or should I say I didn't set my face until I found the colorless powder. I like this because it doesn't introduce any unwanted color to the skin. It only just mattifies my base. So as you can see, my concealed areas are matte because I just put powder on there. But the rest of my face is looking really, really glowy, even though I did use a mattifying primer before I went in with my foundation and everything else. I'm still going to need to matte down everything so that it can stay beautifully matte and absorb any extra oils that will come up later on. So experiment with I'm taking a big fluffy brush, going into my colorless powder, and just look right here, okay? I'm just going to pat it in, and do you see how instantly it mattified my skin? But it also didn't introduce any extra color to my skin. I cannot use my concealer setting powder as an all over face powder because it will literally change my entire base, and I don't want that. Okay, everything is matte over here, not so matte over here. Okay, remember, we're doing a matte base today, so if you don't like a matte base, you could definitely skip the step. Like, I'm not afraid of the powder right now because eventually it's all going to get set and melted in, so like, don't worry about it. Here is a very unusual addition to this list. I love a good self-setting concealer, especially when it comes to summer makeup or makeup that you need to not set, okay? I like a good self-setting concealer to clean up my brows because right around my brows, I don't like to put too much powder or too much powder to set anything, especially if my brows are already set and my brows are filled in. I don't want to add any products that will distort the sharpness of my brows. So in order for me to clean up the brows and make them look pretty, I like to use a self-setting concealer. This specific one is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Concealer. It dries down matte all by itself, so I wouldn't have to go back in with a powder after I apply it onto my skin. This specific shade is the shade 5.5. Because I'm trying to not have a brow that's too bright, this shade works perfectly for me. I'm gonna take some on a flat concealer brush and just clean the bottoms of my brows. Now, after I do this, I wouldn't have to worry about setting it whatsoever. It's just going to dry down matte all on its own. Do you see how quickly it blended in? I also love using it on my eyes as my eyeshadow base because it's going to dry down matte, and whatever I put on top of it, I know it's going to stay in place all day. And just like that, my eyebrows are clean and my eyelids are even without me needing to go back in with any kind of powder to set it all together. Like, I love a good self-setting concealer. Okay? It's very odd to see this product in my summer makeup essentials, but hear me out. This is a mascara primer, okay, or an eyelash primer. I like using this. Since the day that I discovered eyelash primers, I have been obsessed for the simple fact that they generally just add some girth to my natural lashes, to where when I put this first and I apply mascara on top of it, I always get the sense that I don't really need to put falsies on. Now, it's going to be summer and sometimes you would want the big fluffy false lash, you know, sometimes. But for me, most of the times when I have to just get out of the door, I just want my natural lashes to look as beautiful as possible. That's where my eyelash primer comes in, okay? Because as soon as I put this on and I just apply some mascara over it, my lashes always look so beautiful. I don't feel like doing anything extra. That's why I'm adding it to this list of essentials that we need, okay? We're going to need to melt in all the powder we put on the base. So we're gonna need a setting spray that's going to melt in everything onto the base. I like to go in with at least go-to setting sprays when I do my makeup. First option is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Setting Spray because it just melts in my makeup, okay? And the brand new one on the market is a one size powder melt glass setting spray. It will melt everything in. I don't need a lot. I just need enough of it to melt in the makeup but not give me a dewy look, okay? I'm going to use this one because this is my travel size. It's almost done. So I'm just gonna keep this because it's my travel size. It's almost done, okay? Let's use the newest girl on the market. This is the one size powder melt glass setting spray. I don't want to get that glass effect, but I do want it to melt in all the powders that I put on my face. This thing is the finest setting spray I have ever experienced. The simple fact that when I was spraying my face, I didn't even feel it fall on my skin until I opened my eyes and I realized, oh my lord, I have a ton of setting spray on my skin. You know, you see how the first setting spray kind of melted everything into the skin without it looking too oily or too dewy. Like, it just made everything look more like skin. That was what I wanted from our first setting spray. Next, I'm going in with a matte setting spray because I do want to keep that powder integrity of my makeup, okay? This is the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse. Do you see my base? It looks matte, right? It looks matte without it looking like I sucked all the life out of my skin. I don't look like I put milk of magnesia on my skin. Last but not least, okay? Last but not least, I like a good finishing spray, okay? The L'Oreal 3-Second Mist is a good finishing spray. What I don't tell you is anytime before I spray my skin with anything, I take a deep breath, hold it in, and then I spray. So I'm gonna do that. Just give me a second. I have to stop smiling. So this is my finished look showing you 10 summer matte makeup essentials that I think will help your makeup look beautiful and flawless all summer long. Of course, this is the matte version. I will be showing you a dewy or glowy version in another video. I love this base. I know that as time goes on, it tends to get a little bit more matte before the oils start coming through. So having it look like this straight off the bat is really not a bad thing because it will maintain its texture. It will maintain the barrier, absorb the oils, help with the sweat, the heat, everything. And by the time it gets glowy, everything would have melted in to look even more skin-like, okay? So let me know down below in the comments which one of these 10 products or 10 tips I have showed you is something you already use, and also let me know down below in the comments what your summer essential products or tips are so I can try them out and see how they work for me. Also, like this video if you haven't yet done so, and definitely share with your friends. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Love you lots, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.